Hello and welcome. Today, I'm going to be looking at the very first licensed home console version of Mario. That's right, I'm going to be looking at the #1 selling game for the ColecoVision, Donkey Kong. Granted, it was the #1 selling game for the ColecoVision because it was boxed in with every console sold. But still, it was Mario on a home console before the NES, before the Famicom, and before the Game Boy. So let's have a look at Nintendo's Donkey Kong for the ColecoVision. How did Mario, the iconic Nintendo character, make his first home cartridge-based appearance on the ColecoVision? It all started when Eric Bromley, the engineer behind the creation of the console, was in Kyoto, Japan on a business trip. He was securing the rights to games for release on the upcoming ColecoVision. While he was at Nintendo headquarters meeting with Nintendo president Hiroshi Yamauchi, Bromley saw the game. He was on his way to the washroom when he passed a room with the Donkey Kong video game cabinet in it. He fell in love right there. He knew the title, even though it was not yet popular in the West, and he knew it was what was needed for his console. Bromley arranged a meeting for the next day to secure the rights to Donkey Kong. Mr. Yamauchi wanted $200,000 up front and $2 per game sold. This was unprecedented, as Coleco had not paid more than $5,000 up front for the rights to any game to this point. But the deal was struck, and Eric Bromley returned to America. But the story was not over yet. Legal contracts were not something that was part of the Japanese culture at this time, so everything was just written out on a napkin over dinner. Over the next few months, Coleco tried to have Nintendo sign a legal document. Finally, it was agreed that the document would be handed over at the Consumer Electronics Show. Unfortunately, Hiroshi's daughter Yoko was there and informed Eric that her father had decided to give the rights to Atari. Eric gave a heartfelt plea to Yoko and won her over. She then convinced her father to go with the original deal. When the ColecoVision was released, every unit was packaged with the now arcade hit Donkey Kong. So, let's plug this cartridge in and have a look. First off, I'll talk about the obvious differences between this game and the arcade version. I wouldn't call them negatives, since this was all done on an 8-bit home gaming system. The game does not include any cutscenes. It just goes from one level straight into the next. There is only 3 different screens: the ramp level, the rivet level, and the elevator level. It is missing the conveyor belt level. Also, the first level has one less ramp level to climb, so Donkey Kong throws barrels from the other side of the screen, and the rivet level has one less level on the structure. These are just cosmetic differences, and in no way take away from the fun of playing this while sitting in your living room. I think this game looks amazing and really shows what the original ColecoVision was capable of. Everything on screen has actual definition, much closer to the arcade versions. You're not playing as a mostly shapeless pile of blocks like on other home consoles of the time. The sound was also a lot more complex for game consoles than we were used to at the time. You can really hear the multiple channels working in this game. The gameplay is just like the arcade version. You jump over things or smash them with your hammer to complete your goal. On 2 of the screens, that goal is to reach your girlfriend. On the other screen, it's to remove all of the rivets and bring her down to you, which is one place where the cutscene would have helped to make sense of what you're doing. You do all of this as quickly as you can to earn more points. Easy as that. I have to say that I think anyone who had this game and console back in the early 80s was very lucky. And it is worth noting that around the same time that the ColecoVision and Donkey Kong were released, Coleco also released cartridge versions of Donkey Kong for the Atari 2600 and the Intellivision. Even though I didn't get this game when it first came out, I did get it, and I credit it as one of the games that began my lifelong love of 8-bit gaming. Thanks for watching. Don't forget that if you like this video, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. I'd love to hear about what game started your love of gaming. Let me know in the comment section below.